Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more detailed videos. Robert Scorpio has been one of those characters who almost feels untouchable on General Hospital. Fans who have been following the show for decades know that Robert has survived countless life-threatening scenarios, betrayals, shootouts, near-fatal illnesses, and storylines that would have taken out a lesser character years ago. But the question that's been circulating among the fan community is whether his luck is about to run out. Could the show actually be preparing to kill off Robert Scorpio? It's a topic that has people buzzing, worried, and analyzing every scene he's in, trying to figure out if subtle clues are pointing toward a possible exit. One of the biggest reasons this speculation is gaining momentum is the way Robert's recent storylines have been shaping up. He's been more central again, but at the same time, there have been unusual notes of finality creeping into his conversations. Longtime viewers know that when General Hospital starts giving a character reflective moments, chances to tie up loose ends, or lines that sound like a goodbye without actually being one, that often signals a major shift. We've seen this pattern before with other iconic characters who are eventually written out. With Robert, the concern is that these small storytelling choices might be a prelude to something tragic. Another factor that makes people wonder is the actor behind Robert, Tristan Rogers. He's been candid in interviews over the years about how he sees his role, what his commitments are, and how he balances General Hospital with other projects. While he's always expressed affection for playing Robert, the truth is that soaps are notorious for writing exits when scheduling or contracts become complicated. If there's any uncertainty about the actor's availability, the writers may decide to close the chapter dramatically instead of leaving things vague. Killing Robert would be a huge story point, one that shakes up the canvas and affects multiple characters deeply. What makes Robert such a unique figure is how deeply connected he is to Port Charles history. He isn't just a character. He's tied into the very DNA of the show. His years as a super spy, his complicated romances, his friendships, his role as a father, all add layers to his importance. That's exactly why the idea of him being killed off feels both unthinkable and strangely possible at the same time. On one hand, the writers know how devastating that would be for fans. On the other, soap operas thrive on shock, heartbreak, and legacy moments. Taking out Robert would create ripples that could fuel storylines for years. So what do we actually know about his current arc? Lately, Robert has been in the thick of legal drama, mob threats, and dangerous political maneuverings. He's in a position of power, but also constantly in danger because of it. That alone is reason enough to worry. Characters who live by the sword in soap operas often meet their fate in shocking takedowns. And Robert, no matter how sharp he is, can only dodge bullets, literally and metaphorically, for so long. When a man like him keeps warning others about the dangers around them, fans know to be cautious, because often that foreshadows danger coming directly to him. Fans have been noticing some very specific things. He's been spending more time reflecting on the past. He's been shown in moments that almost feel like curtain calls, where he's interacting with people in meaningful ways, as if tying bows on decades of connections. Some conversations have a tone of finality that's hard to ignore. Soap writers are masters of subtle foreshadowing, and longtime viewers pick up on these clues quickly. Is it deliberate misdirection, or is it genuine build-up to a major farewell? That's the big question. Of course, we have to acknowledge how General Hospital often plays with its audience. Just because it looks like a character might die, doesn't mean they will. The show has faked deaths countless times. Robert himself has been presumed dead before, only to come back with an explanation later. That's the nature of the genre. So while rumors of his potential demise are serious, fans also keep that glimmer of hope alive that even if the show does attempt something drastic, there's always a way back. Still, the possibility of a permanent exit feels stronger now than it has in years. If Robert were killed off, what would that look like? The writers would almost certainly give him a storyline worthy of his legacy. It wouldn't be quiet or off-screen. It would be explosive, dramatic, and shocking, probably involving a big showdown where Robert sacrifices himself or is taken down by a powerful enemy. Soap operas love to give heroes exits that cement their larger-than-life status. With Robert, any final storyline would likely involve danger, espionage, or protecting someone he loves. That would fit his character and ensure his legacy lives on, even in absence. What's interesting is how fans are reacting to the mere suggestion. The idea of losing Robert has people vocal online, on forums, and on social media, pleading with the writers not to make this move. Fans point out that he still has so much story left. There are relationships he could develop further, mysteries he could solve, and younger characters he could mentor. In a soap landscape where legacy characters are increasingly rare, losing someone like Robert would be a heavy blow. That fan pushback is significant, because sometimes when an audience speaks loudly enough, shows take notice and adjust their plans. One thing that might also feed the speculation is how General Hospital has handled other major deaths recently. We've seen a trend where the writers aren't afraid to shock the audience by taking out characters who once seemed safe. This pattern makes fans wary that no one is truly immune, not even icons like Robert. Soap history proves that even characters who feel like cornerstones can be taken down for the sake of drama. It's heartbreaking, but it's also part of why the genre remains unpredictable after all these years. Another layer to this is the practical reality of soap storytelling. Writers often need to make room for new characters, fresh stories, and generational shifts. Removing a major figure like Robert would open up space for other characters to step into the spotlight. It would also create natural conflict, grief, and fallout for multiple families. The ripple effect would be massive, which from a writer's standpoint makes it tempting. But the downside, of course, is alienating fans who value the character's presence. Striking that balance is tricky, and it's why this rumor feels both plausible and consider the possibility that the speculation itself is part of the plan. Sometimes soaps intentionally fuel rumors to build suspense. They'll create scenes that hint at a possible death, let the chatter spread, and then either deliver on it or pull back at the last moment. It's a way to keep the audience engaged and guessing. So while the concern about Robert's fate feels real, it may be the writers playing into that anxiety on purpose. By doing so, they keep Robert central to fan conversations, which only makes his storyline more impactful. Think about Robert's relationships. His dynamic with Anna, his long history with Holly, his bond with his daughter Robin, and his interactions with the younger generation all add weight to his presence. If he were to die, every one of those relationships would be impacted. Anna would be devastated. Holly would lose one of her greatest loves. Robin would face another heartbreaking loss of her father, and the younger characters would lose a mentor who still carries wisdom. The ripple effects would be enormous. The grief would be authentic and layered, making for compelling drama. But it would also create a hole in the canvas that can't be easily filled. So what do we know for certain? The truth is, nothing official has been confirmed. There's no public announcement that Tristan Rogers is leaving, no press release that Robert is being killed off, and no concrete spoilers that definitively state his fate. What we have are hints, narrative choices, and fan speculation. Sometimes that's enough to signal what's coming, but other times it's just smoke without fire. Until the show makes a move, everything is just possibility. But in soaps, possibility is often the fuel that keeps viewers glued to the screen. The most optimistic view is that Robert isn't going anywhere, that the writers are simply using him more prominently right now and giving him powerful material. Fans who take that stance point to the fact that he's still integrated in multiple stories, still has allies and enemies to contend with, and hasn't yet passed the torch fully to anyone else. That suggests there's more road ahead for him. The pessimistic view, of course, is that this prominence is exactly why he's at risk, because giving a character a strong final arc is the classic setup for a departure. At the end of the day, what makes this speculation so intense is how much Robert means to the audience. He represents an era of General Hospital that was adventurous, daring, and larger than life. His presence is a reminder of what made the show great in the first place. Losing him would feel like losing a piece of history, and that's why fans are on edge. They want reassurance, but soaps rarely provide it until the storyline plays out. That's part of the suspense, but it's also part of the frustration, because viewers invest so deeply in characters like Robert. So the question remains, is Robert Scorpio about to be killed off? Right now, it's an open mystery. The hints are there, the speculation is strong, and the fear is real. But until we see the storyline unfold, we can't know for sure. What we can say is that Robert's fate, whatever it may be, will be one of the most significant moves General Hospital has made in years. Whether he survives or falls, the impact will be unforgettable, and the conversations will continue long after the storyline ends. That's the power of a character like Robert Scorpio. He keeps us talking, keeps us guessing, and keeps us caring, no matter what. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for all of your updates.